Hi, everyone. First of all, I wanted to thank everyone in Global Goals Week and Young Partners Forum for giving me the opportunity to speak at this wonderful event. My name is Rafael Angouw, and today I'll be presenting about the organization that I founded and I'm the president of called Reeformers. So today in this presentation, I'll be going over four things. First, I'll be talking about Global Goals Week and why it is important for us to engage with it. Second, I'll be talking about myself. Third, I'll be talking about the project Reeformers. And fourth, I'll be talking about the future plans I have with Reeformers. So what is Global Goals Week? It is a commitment among 150 plus partners to accelerate action on the SDGs, especially during the UN General Assembly High Level Week. So in this week, it is an opportunity for people to speak out and share their ideas to fight against global issues and challenges around the world. And it is so important for us, the youth, to engage with Global Goals Week because it gives us the opportunity to express our opinions and how to make our planet a more prosperous one. And aside from this, Global Goals Week allows us, the youth, to become change makers in our own communities, our own cities, our own countries. And it is a chance for all young people to be heard because we, the youth, are the future of our planet. And so I'll briefly talk about my leadership and activities. I'm a grade 12 student in Jakarta Intercultural School. In June, I was a UN World Oceans Day 2023 youth delegate. Last December, I was a speaker in the Indonesian annual SDG conference. I was also a guest speaker at the Southeast Asia Today morning show. I was a presenter at Catalyst 2030 Catalyzing Change Week in May 4th this year. I'm a Young Partners Forum youth leader since 2022. I am a co-founder of Roots Art Lab, which is a company that I co-founded aiming to reduce the environmental impacts of fast fashion through customization of reused apparel. I'm a 3-year varsity singer. I am a representative of my class council and student activities board since last year. I'm a program officer of a service club at my school called Laut Indah, which means beautiful ocean, aiming to protect our oceans through local actions. And I'm also a PADI open water diver since 2020. And these are some of my honors and awards. I placed 4 out of 300 teams globally in a model entrepreneurship competition, which is a competition created by Columbia Business School and Venture for All. I placed 2nd out of the 365 teams for Reeformers in the Bluepreneur Startup Bootcamp competition, which is a startup competition for startups in the blue economy, and this is Asia-wide. 3rd, I'm a youth fellow of UNESCO-led Learning Planet Alliance, so I am 1 out of 2 high school students from Indonesia. And lastly, I'm a 2-time finalist both this year and last year in the Association for Music in International Schools, or AMI, solo competition. So why do we need coral reefs? Why are they so important? Well, first of all, it supplies food for 3 billion people. There are billions of coastal communities around the world that depend on the ocean for their food source. And it also drives $36 billion of economic impact as it supports, tourism jobs, fisheries, scuba diving instructors, underwater photographers, etc. And it also protects us from natural disasters such as tsunamis, hurricanes, and floods. But the coral reefs around the world are facing a very, very dangerous problem. By 2050, 90% of our coral reefs are likely to disappear due to climate change. And so this is a problem that we need to solve now. It is really urgent because it has both environmental and social impacts. For the environmental impacts, without our coral reefs, we will face a severe destruction of our marine ecosystems. And this will lead to a significant loss of our underwater biodiversity. And because corals are carbon sinks, if we lose all of them, then there will be more carbon in the atmosphere. And for the social impact, because 3 billion people depend on the ocean for their livelihood, without our coral reefs, there will be food insecurity, negative economic impact. We will be more vulnerable to natural disasters, and we will have an increased health impact. And so the solution that Reeformers brings to the table is coral transplantation and monitoring. So let me explain what that is. So what is coral transplantation? Coral transplantation is planting and growing resilient corals in order to build new ocean habitats and uplift the coastal communities that depend on the ocean. So think of it as building our own coral garden. So why do we choose coral transplantation as an approach to solve the crisis that coral reefs are facing? Well, first of all, it multiplies the coral population. And for us, our Reeformers, we specifically pick resilient coral species that are strong against the current climate condition. And with these increased coral population, it builds new resilient ocean habitats because corals are the foundation of marine habitats. And this will then increase and support an abundance of marine biodiversity in the area. And with increased biodiversity, there will be more income for people in the fisheries industry and also for the tourism sector, because now this coral transplantation site that we have built has become something attractive for people to visit. And so this will increase the incomes of, let's say, scuba diving instructors, the boat rental companies, or underwater photographers. And since corals produce oxygen and absorb carbon, coral transplantation helps contribute to oxygen production and carbon dioxide absorption. And so this is our site. Our transplantation site is called Reeformers Reef. We are based in Manado, North Sulawesi, Indonesia. And in Reeformers Reef, we use 280 meters square of ocean space. And in this 280 meters square, we have 110 artificial reefs, and each reef hosts 16 corals. So we have a total of 1,760 resilient corals transplanted. And so this is what our site layout looks like. As you can see here, each little square is their own artificial reef, or we also like to call it shelves or racks. So our monitoring program is something very, very important. It is something that ensures the success of our coral transplantation. So during our monitoring activity that we do every month by our team of volunteer divers, we collect growth data of our corals, such as height, size, and branching. Aside from that, we document new biodiversity in our site, as well as new coral recruitments. So coral recruitments are corals that grow on their own, and they are also potential saplings for more coral transplantation projects. We also collect water quality data, such as temperature, salinity, pH, and other oceanographic conditions. And we also clean our corals from turf algae. Now, this is very, very important. Turf algae is something really dangerous to corals that are transplanted, corals that are premature, that are new. And so if we don't clean them, then the success rate of our coral survival will be very, very low. And so this is why cleaning corals from turf algae is super important. And we always do this during our monitoring activities. Then we replace our dead corals with new coral saplings or fragments. And during our monitoring sessions every month, we also do an ocean and beach cleanup. So for the data such as, growth data, biodiversity data, and water quality data, we compile this into a semi-annual and annual report, which we report to our coral adopters, which I'll go over later. So as you can see here, because of our intensive care of our corals and our monitoring sessions, we are having a very successful growth and survival rate. You can see in the pictures, in just a year, our corals have grown significantly in height, area, and also branching. And so we try to involve the public as much as possible, and they can do this through our coral adoption program. So our coral adoption program is similar to, adopting your own pet. So if you adopt a coral, first of all, you get a certificate of adoption with the picture of the coral, the picture of the diver that planted it, and also the name that you can give your coral. Then you get a semi-annual and annual report, which consists of the data that is collected during our monitoring activities. Then you're also featured on our social media and our website as a featured adopter. So these are some of our partners. We have partners in the government, such as the Indonesian Ministry of National Development Planning, the Indonesian Ministry of Fisheries and Maritime, the Manado City government, and we also have corporate partners such as Mercedes-Benz, who recently sponsored us through a form of corporate social responsibility. And in the second row here, in the bottom row, these are all of the local diving communities that we collaborate with, and they are the volunteers of our deployment and monitoring sessions. So if Bobocha Diving Club, Murung Family, Sea Soldier, Dragonet, Kokima, and Coral Lestari Malalayang. And so these are some of our milestones ever since we started in December 2021. So in 2021, I founded this organization. The following month, we deployed our first batch of 800 corals. 6 months later, we deployed 960 corals. Then in 2022, we launched our Eco Dive Trip, which is a program we have where the public can get to experience what it is like to become a Reeformers volunteer. Then we won the runner-up for the startup competition. In 2022, we were chosen as a representative for green initiatives started by the youth in the Indonesia annual SDG conference. Then in June 2023, we launched our website and gained the CSR sponsorship from Mercedes-Benz Indonesia. And the following month, we were featured on Nat Geo Indonesia. So these are our future plans for the next 3 years. Next month, we plan to deploy 2,500 corals to make 4,000 corals in our site. Then in March 2024, we will like to have more CSR sponsorships. So we're going to market our coral transplantation more to multinational companies so that we get the support to do more of our amazing conservation work. In January 2025, we plan to launch our automated subscription payment, which adds flexibility and makes the adopting process much easier for the public. And we also aim to deploy 2,500 more corals. In June 2025, we want to process our license for expansion to use more of the ocean space. Then in January 2026, we want to deploy 2,500 more corals and make sure everything that we have deployed previously has been adopted. So these are the impacts that we have done ever since we have started. So we have 107 plus new biodiversity in our site. So this really supports, the fisheries sector. Then we have 300 plus coral recruitment. So we have so much, coral potential for more coral saplings that can be used for coral transplantation projects. Then we've increased the income of 103 plus households in the coastal communities. So these are the households that depend on the ocean for income, for food, etc. And we're also big advocates of gender equality. Among our volunteers, we have a 60 to 40 proportion of male to female divers. Our site has a 95% success rate of coral growth. We have saved 1,760 plus wild corals from being cut or removed. We have 8,000 plus new saplings from the fragments we planted. And each year, with our 1,760 corals that we transplant, we absorb 110 plus kilograms of carbon. And we have 6 SDGs contributions, as you can see here on the right. We have life below water, climate action, sustainable cities and communities, decent work and economic growth, gender equality, and reduced inequalities. So our work really sustains not only, underwater marine ecosystems, but also the communities that depend on the ocean in the Malalang area. So how can Global Goals We community help? Well, it is really simple. All we are asking for is for you guys to support our work by adopting a coral and promoting what we do online. So to adopt a coral, all you need to do is go to our website, reeformers.org, and also our Instagram, reeformers.id, to check out what you can do, what process you need to follow to adopt a coral. It is really, really simple. And by, promoting our post in your Instagram stories or etc., it'll really, really help us and, inform people about what we do in the marine conservation world. And so, yes, the more people are aware of Reeformers, the more people are aboard on this marine conservation train, the better chance we have in saving our corals. So I just wanted to say thank you again for listening to my presentation. Hopefully you all will be inspired to take action and support our cause. Thank you.